Hello YouTube, here's Jimek with another video about multirotors. This time we're going to be talking about radios. As you know, I love my Phantom, which comes with a default radio, which is a great thing because people buy the Phantom because it has everything to get your camera up in the sky, and they can, without any prior experience, they can fly and get those lovely aerial shots. However, there are some benefits to upgrading your radio, and I've gotten myself, as you know, the Futaba 8J, and there's reasons for that. Safety and comfort come to mind. Let's take a look at this really great radio in more detail. So the 8J isn't top of the line radio, but it has, at a reasonable price, all the key features that you actually need. It does have an internal set of antennas, but the range is just, I haven't been able to test it, but I've flown like 1.5 kilometers away and it was just still flawless. It has a lot of knobs or switches to flip, and it has like this little potentiometer pot in the middle that you can control your camera with. I mean, some of the top of the line, the 8FG, 14FG Futabas have some nice sliders at the bottom of the controller, which are great for controlling the camera. But I'll show you later how to use the channel mixer to get some reasonable control with the camera with the knobs and switches that you have. Anyway. The first thing before we dive into configuring the controller is I'm going to show you something about modes. When you buy the DJI Phantom, your controller just comes preset and you don't have to worry about these modes. But if you have prior experience or simply are shopping for a new radio, you do have to worry about those because they exist and you have to pick one. So to know which one you're actually accustomed to, if you just use the DJI Phantom, it is mode 2. Now these modes refer to the way the sticks behave. It's only about the vertical axes of these sticks, the rest remains the same. But if you're flying DJI Phantom, you're used to having the throttle on your left stick. So, vertically you're moving the stick and the craft goes up or down. On the right-hand stick, you're used to controlling the pitch of the aircraft, so it's also called elevator. Now, there's going to be all these airplane terms that we will need to go through because configuring the different channels and controls of individual levers and things on the controller requires you to understand what aileron is and what elevator is, because those channels are actually referred to by these terms rather than 1 to 8 as you would expect as a newbie. Anyway, I'm digressing. So you have to know what mode and you would now expect people to want mode 2 controllers, but you don't have to just shop. Like when I was buying my controller, they were out of the mode 2 controllers, so I just bought the mode 1, and you can switch the mode in the software, but you also have to do a little bit of hardware tweaking, and let's take a look. To switch your controller to mode 2, when powering it on, you press and hold the plus and minus buttons on the controller. As soon as you do that, as you turn it on, there's going to be a special menu, and the first option is going to be the flight mode STK. I don't know what that stands for, but it's what we're talking about here. So you set that to 2 and you turn off the controller again, and from then on you're good to go in terms of behavior of the controller. The thing you're very likely not going to be liking is that now your right hand stick, which you're controlling the pitch and roll of the aircraft, now has one axis that just doesn't, get centered again. And on the other hand, your left stick does center. Now, I'm going to show you first how everybody who's using the controller wants to fly both choppers or multi-rotors as we are, but also planes, because it's a multi-purpose radio and you can store up to 99 I think, or maybe only 20, but definitely a lot of airplanes or airplane presets that you can work with. What you do is you take off the 4 screws that are at the back of the radio, and be sure to take out the battery as well, because the battery lead goes through the bottom part of the radio. Once you unscrew the cover, you will see that at the bottom of the joystick cradles, on one of them there's like this plastic bit that does what you would expect, and that is it takes away that centering spring and provides that clickety, rugged ratcheting motion of the throttle stick. So if you would want to keep that, you would just take the plate, the plastic plate, flip it 180 degrees and put it on the other side, and now you've essentially completed the switch from mode 1 to mode 2. However, you might not like that ratcheting click, and Futaba includes the little metallic plate that you can replace the little beak with, so you don't get that clickety-click behavior, but a more fluent one. But what I'm gonna suggest is that you remove the plastic bit completely, so you get a controller that centers the sticks from both sides. Now this means that you don't fly planes, but it's exactly the way DJI had it. I love it for multiple reasons. The major one is that when you're just hovering in the air, all you do is you lift your hands off the controller, and the chopper just remains stationary. It doesn't descend, it doesn't ascend, it's just perfectly level. That's lovely. And also, just like the exactly the same force that works against your finger in both axes just works much better for rudder, for defining the yaw yourself. So I really love the centering. Now that's great for multi-rotors, but if you were to fly planes, this doesn't really work, because there's nothing special about 50% throttle, and you would have to, like most of the time, you would have to work against it. And I haven't been able to find a setting in the 8J to turn off the initial warning about throttle being up. So every time you turn on the controller, it warns you about your throttle being 50% and you have to go down, and it allows you to just not do anything, and it will go back to 50%. Now the NASA is great in that it doesn't take off. If you arm your rotors and leave the throttle stick go to 50%, it doesn't actually take off. It just waits for you to hit the throttle, go past 50%, and then it actually starts taking off. So when you're flying the NASA controller and you don't intend to use, I don't have any experience with other flight controllers, so maybe they do exactly the same as what DJI does with the NASA, but for me, with only limited experience, this is just the perfect behavior. I love both sticks to remain centered, and it just works best for me. But your mileage may vary. You can also use a couple of screws, like 2 screws per each gimbal, and define how much pressure is working against you, like the strength of the spring. So you got plenty of hardware control of how the controller behaves. The next time we're going to be talking, I'm going to show you how I've actually set up the different channels and how I control my gimbal and all that great stuff. There's a couple of videos, if you're anxious, there's a couple of videos on YouTube that show you how to set up your Futaba, but I hope to give you a nice walkthrough the way I've set up these things myself. There's a couple of changes that I did. Anyway, I hope you enjoy guys, and take care.
Of time, the feeling disappears. You are so